I'll mention in my own experience with JackimusWedge is that our seeds go very long. So my seeds go long, his seeds go long, and when we race was a 3-hour mess. So prepare for a lot of fire breath, I would guess.
That's one of the best matches in the history of these tournaments, in my opinion.
That was a vile match. Alright, to the throne room. We have the herb. We have some wings, which is good. And the key, of course.
So we've got Big Z for Centroid, so Strength HP, and looks like TY is also Strength HP. And on the other side of the coin, Sylverfyre and Jackimus are running Strength Agility builds.
Alright, so we'll see early game, end game, you'll see some stats boosted based on those names. And, ooh, a very fast staff cave. So right by the start, we have a town, we have a staff cave, we have a cave of various darkness.
We've got a lot of red stats.
They're squishy, that's for sure. But level 1, you're pretty fragile in the first place.
Yeah, and that town being Hawksness is no help to anybody this early in the game.
Yeah, so Hawksness is there. If it's a good grind spot, it might be okay for you later on, but for now, it can't help you.
They did get some gold, so that's an extra tease. And Centroid drew the gold of the beast.
Now, gold is interesting. If you're watching last night and I had gold and figured I'll ignore it because there's no town by me, and I was wrong. But if you have the gold option, it's good to find what's around. See if you can, sneak yourself a good weapon or good armor at the get-go.
Yeah, with that one big gold chest, that screams hand axe if you can find one.
Hand axe is good. Also, gold grind possible if you can get killed in the right spot and come on back to the castle. Due to a memory limitation of the game, if you open enough chests in the overworld, the 10th chest will keep reopening itself. So you have a open access to gold there, potential.
Looks like the castle itself is kind of off into a little corner here. Oh, we do have a town here that Jackimus is approaching.
Unfortunately, the Troll Magi said no. But you have close access to 2 towns. If this town has an axe, Jackimus may restart the game and get the gold back and try again.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be worth it with the strength so low at the start.
And super potent enemies too, so you go to that castle a few zones, you're running to run into Troll Magi, you run into Armor Knights, or Axe Knights I should say. So enemies around this map are pretty dangerous. Actually, Drakima, very close to the castle, so their zones are very skewed. And like many early NES games, the zones of these RPGs are squares, basically. So once you cross that square, enemies become stronger. Close to the castle is pretty vanilla. One step away, I think Wolf is the strongest you get. Beyond that, anyone's guess.
So Jack did choose to reset here to get that gold back, the key back to get the gold.
You know, Tyerenex is checking out the caves. Finally got to them. I think Tyerenex spent some time grinding to no real avail, unfortunately. Again, the enemies in this map are very potent. There's been no luck with finding stuff, though heal is an option, so you can fight things kind of strong. Though, when a ghost does 68 damage to you in one shot, you can't fight that.
This is almost exactly the start that I had earlier today with the Alan Heffley. The big gold start, some towns reasonably nearby, but kind of a stone's throw away, and really low stats to start. And the heal spell.
Yeah, heal's funny. The tease is like, oh, you can heal. Early game fighting will be easy for you. And every enemy has hurt more or fire breath. And it's like, well, I can heal, but not that fast.
Yeah, Jack is still having no luck getting down to that town. Walking through a desert with some in a middle to high tier enemies is not going to be easy.
Jack actually opting to go buy some keys. Oh no, he's going to check out the basement first. He might reset after the basement check and see if he gets lucky there. Meanwhile, Tyerenex, Sylverfyre, and Centroid are all doing variations of grinding and variations of being lit on fire, because enemies in this area are pretty dangerous still.
Yeah, this is definitely a rough start overall. There's just, well, we do see just a normal slime on Tyerenex's stream there.
plain old slime. What could possibly go wrong with a plain old slime?
I didn't catch what cave was in the basement of Tantanshell, but a wyvern sends Jackimus right back here.
Alright, so not Urge's Cavern, for sure. But luckily, the door stayed open, so you can try it again. And Jack may try going to find if there's treasure there, if it's Mountain Cave or Garen's Grave, just some fairly early chest to grab onto. You might get lucky finding Urge's sword, maybe find a flute or a token. Sylverfyre finds a warlock.
These all are runners that started off with a win here in the tournament last week, so they've got a fair amount of good play, and so it's interesting to see them all kind of try different things.
Again, there's other things you can try. Again, south here, Sylverfyre is going to be grinding a little too far from the castle for their own good. Again, close to the castle is a little safer. The heal spell, you fight most enemies okay. Again, if you're fighting that ghost, it doesn't really count because the ghost has fire breath. The wolf has sleep, so you can't cheat him. Yeah, the enemies are pretty well set. My Jackimus comment before might actually be coming to fruition, and I do apologize. Oh, weapon has hurt more too. Never mind. That cave is dangerous.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, I guess if it were me, I'm probably just gonna keep trying to YOLO it down into that town.
Ooh, Tyerenex was close to a cave and a dragon appeared.
The stat gains for Centroid at level 2 don't seem too fantastic.
Yeah, we got double digits in all stats though now, so at least you're able to fight to some degree. I wouldn't go grinding on anything stronger, but now you probably fight a ghost and maybe kill it before it lights you on fire.
And see if maybe they got any spells out of that.
I don't think so, because Centroid is still going for swings, so I don't think any spells beyond heal have been learned yet.
Yeah, and the Magician has Baby Breath, which is way too potent for anybody this early.
Yeah, endgame Hurt and Baby Breath are not really dangerous. They're good things to see. They're kind of free rounds to combat. Early game, though, it's still a chunk of damage that you can't... In a game where you can't dodge attacks, basically, outpacing damage is not really your option. And Ghost again. So a lot of the enemies that are safe to grind on are very dangerous. And slimes have been kind of... There's one. Been hiding pretty well.
Yeah, it's a slow start, but as we see Tyerenex and Sylverfyre getting their level 2 here, and you're always, in theory, the possibility of hurt more at the very next level, so that would bust everything wide open.
Alright, Sylverfyre trying to bonk through a cave right then it says go home. Unfortunate. Alrighty, I guess we got some, I don't say a lulling action, it's been kind of a beatdown, but Dragon Warrior, your goal is to beat the Dragon Lord at the end of the game, go to his castle, beat him up, take his stuff, get your ball back. In the meantime, you want to get a few items to open up the way to the chest or way to the castle. You want to find the Stones of Sunlight, you want to find the Silver Harp, trade in for a Staff of Rain, find a token that proves you are the, whatever generation lying down at Erdrick, find some old guy in a cave, say give you these things, get a rainbow drop, and then you go to Charlock. Between that is finding good armor, good swords, a lot of experience points, and a whole lot of fire, it seems.
A lot of fire.
Our tracker now shows you stats back and forth. Also the item tracker and good spells. The spell trackers is for the unique items in the game. Heal more, hurt more. Gwilyn, the GPS. And also the bottom, some interesting items you can get your hands on. The Fighter's Ring, which is a slight boost to attack power. Dragon Scale for defense. Death Necklace for a large attack power boost, but a cost of hit points and being cursed. As well as the level of power, weapons, and armor you have.
Now, I thought Jack was doing it on purpose there for a second, but has anyone peeked into Hawkness to see what enemies are in there? See maybe if there's something? I don't know what it would be. A red slime, maybe?
Yeah, Hawkness is interesting. It's fully randomized zone to an extent. So basically it's dangerous usually, but I've seen weak enemies there. So it might not be a dumb idea. It sounds insane to walk around Hawkness and see what fights you. Ah, Tyerenex is down in Breckenary. Normally I'd be like, ugh, Breckenary. But in this seed, take what you can get.
It does have the hand axe.
So Jack had the right play. He was going to head down there and try again for the hand axe. If you make that, never that being murdered, it was there for the buying.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tempting. But if I already had one level, I don't know. It took him quite a while to get that one level. It's a tough call to kind of decide whether it's worth starting from scratch, but having a good shot at getting that hand axe.
Yep, definitely a mess in this seed. But again, these choices you make. If you want to go back and try again, if you think that getting the hand axe in 3 or 4 runs will get you there faster and you'll kill enemies in 2 hits or 1 hit instead of maybe dying to fire. But that's also time you take and time you are giving back because you've grinded a little bit and you can't get the time back in a race. So it's really hard to say.
Oh, he didn't. He had his key still. Wow.
Tyerenex never actually used it, so Tyerenex actually held off on the key. Do I go for the chest? Tyerenex probably wanted to see if there's a town nearby to buy stuff before I went chest grinding. Yeah, fairy water, which is actually interesting. I don't know if it helps too much at this low strength.
It won't, but in fact, it might hurt him. He might have been able to kill a slime on the way or something like that.
And also death necklace. So in that treasury is a death necklace.
Oh, that's a big bouncer he just ran into.
And that being said, if you have death necklace on your possession, you can go to town and sell it. If you want to try and hold on to it to the end game and attempt to use it for the Dragon Lord, that's a good idea. If you have no money and you're dying into the town, I can pop that death necklace for a good chunk of change and buy that axe.
Yeah, that's another. This one would be one where it'd be hard not to consider selling it if the right things come about. But I didn't see anything that jumped out to me necessarily. So that's
I mean, just a hand axe, because I think, yeah, 561, just enough to buy a hand axe. Honestly, if I was that dying that often in the town, I would sell it just to buy the hand axe and just be done with it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's definitely an option as well. Yeah, that's a pretty savvy move. Not using the key immediately when you get the wings, so there's no additional chance of the gold grind, the immediate gold grind with double counting the 3 chests. That's only with 2 magic keys. So sometimes just holding on to the 1 key until you can somehow grind up 85 gold to check both at the same time. That's kind of the ideal, but I think he's definitely making a great play.
It's worth the trouble, especially if you find more gold in that chest, you can walk right back and buy more keys. So if one of those 4 chests happens to be gold, you're going to buy yourself a whole set of keys. And if the game is done well for you, 1 set of keys will last the whole game. It'll get you to the doors in Garen's grave, the chest in Rumbledar, Draenlor's, there's a door in Draenlor's castle. Open for Gwelin. Yeah, basically. Oh, and the 1 door to get to the old man in Kenlin. So basically, yeah, if you buy a full set of keys and don't have any problems using them, or if you use them and don't die afterwards, 1 full stack will last the whole game.
Now, Centroid went the opposite route with everything and just immediately started grinding, just killing what he can in these 2 little desert tiles, and he's 1 more slime kill away from getting to level 3.
Again, that might break things open. You get hurt in your hands, you can start killing enemies in 1 shot. You get hurt more, you just you can purposely walk outside to a dangerous place and try and near them, and then get yourself big chunks of experience that way. The king is just racking up, gold. Every time you die, you get half the gold back to the king. So, Alfgard's treasury is looking quite swole. I'm not sure if the COD counter still works in the bot anymore, but many fish to be had here.
Now you see why Jack gave up earlier. Tyerenex is having really no luck getting back to Breckenary.
Yeah, that's a really dangerous. It's a long walk. Enemies are very powerful. I feel like the Tangel is in a corner of its zone, so basically you're almost automatically in a dangerous area. And yeah, a lot of desert tiles, so a lot of high encounter rate tiles.
Yeah, some of these he's not even getting a chance to try to run.
So Dragon Warrior again. Of all the randomizers I play and have played, and ones I've watched, Dragon Warrior Randomizer is the one that cares least about your feelings. It will kill you when it wants to. Most games you play overall, in the first few levels, you're the strongest in the world. Like, the game kind of bows to you. Any RPG you play, you're kind of like the force in the game to be reckoned with. Dragon Warrior will kill you repeatedly until basically that golden level. So you are always at risk of being put to sleep and just stomped on until things are really in your favor. There we go, level 3 has the goods.
Numbers don't look too terribly much better. 19th strength is nice though.
But we do have access to hurt, which means we can start hitting enemies, above our damage level.
Yeah, that'll one-shot the ghosts and the magicians and the drakies, so that you don't have to worry about what they're gonna do to you. So that's about as welcome of a sight as anything could be.
Jackimus used the ghost to give the old Kaishin, take it down one shot.
And Jack invested some time early, but he's got his way back up to 13 points, and Sylverfyre's made his way to level 3 just behind Centroid.
Alright, so the two runners who have not actually tried to explore, really, it's been a real grind getting to this level 3, but they have the access now to good spell power and other tricks. So they might make a little bit of a lead here. Endgame doesn't matter too much unless this really stymies them, because endgame, a grind, you're getting like between 180 and 255 experience points is not a clip. So endgame grind can really bring it up really fast if you get the right spot. But this allows them to get more power and hopefully find one of the more spells and travel better. Alright, since we're ready to level 4, it gets beefy. Now Baby Breath won't kill him in one shot.
Yeah, he's putting on some muscle mass there. And really hindsight's 2020, and all of these decisions, you can't call them right or wrong. But getting hurt at level 3 basically makes the hand axe kind of moot for the time being, because that's going to be, the hurt spell's going to land just a little heavier than I think the hand axe is going to, and even at its lower rolls.
That's true. And again, you get usually the first play in the fight, so doing as much damage as you can as fast as you can in a game where you can't dodge is critical. So having the higher damage rolls from hurt basically be guaranteed is a real good boon to have.
But Tyerenex did get cashed in on his hand axe, so I think he's gonna be joining him soon, and Jack has made his way up pretty quickly as well. So I think, all things considered, things are gonna even out here pretty quickly, and then it's gonna be what's the next step? What's gonna bust this open a little bit?
Yes, the question is, all the music are keys now, so the cave below Titangel is not really accessible anymore. It's gonna be whoever finds the key first. Maybe check out Ribbledar. There's other caves that were close to the northwest that they got to really close to and died a few times. 2 caves here actually are an option. One cave is obviously a item cave, but one is definitely to be searched.
Sylverfyre's got the right idea here. It looks like he's grinding up on Warlocks, which is kind of right in the sweet spot for them right now. 28 experience a pop is something they're not going to be able to really get any easier.
Problem is, wolves are down there too, and wolves have sleep.
That is not ideal.
Alright, Centroid is fighting over here at level 5 now. With the added hit points, a few bonus stats, and Radiant. Jackimus, going for the town again. Trying to fish this Drakima, which is risky.
That agility at level 5 is still kind of early, maybe even start of the game putrid.
Yeah, agility is tied to your defense, so also being ambushed and overall defense power. So you gotta be careful with that.
And your ability to get away from anything.
Yeah, it's funny actually, because enemies in this game, their agility and defense are tied together, so enemies that are hard to hit are also hard to run from. So if you ever come across a metal slime with hurt more, you're not getting away. You come across a scorpions, which have high defense base. They're also hard to run from because their defense is totally tied to their agility. So it's a little mechanic of the game you got to think about. That's not like enemy can be fast and switch the armor. The two stats are intertwined, which is kind of odd for most RPGs.
Level 6, just kind of building up even more. That strength is starting to look really good.
Ooh, Sylverfyre finds the back of Garanham.
Now he must have, gotten through the cave.
Sword. Big stick in the back of Garanham.
Wow, that is the piece that busts it wide open here.
Oh no, that's not even a cave. They just walked to the town proper. I was looking at 3 other streams. Yes, they just walked to the town proper and picked it up. So I cast sword. Alrighty, so Sylverfyre finds the big sword, grabs some small gear, and you'll see a large boost in damage right about now. Centroid finds Archer's Totem Cave, hoping for the freebie chest.
We see that Tyerenex made up those levels really quickly, getting that hand axe, so that does look to have paid off pretty well for him, even all the time he had to commit to get there.
Ooh, metal slime. Let's use the sword and runs. Sylverfyre almost had free experience points. Almost.
And Syl finds a metal slime that runs away from him.
Alright, Tyerenex again, grinding by the castle. Warlocks again, so try and make that work. Jack is checking out of the... Oop, no, Jack's gonna try the back cave again. Sylverfyre, unfortunately, takes a death and heads on back. So with a giant sword and some gear, Sylverfyre, unfortunately, is going to, if something wants dead giant warrior, it will kill you.
Yeah, I wonder if that's something Asriel's tracking. Total deaths. I'd love to hear even just an estimate on that for a tournament one.
Alrighty. So level 6 brings Heal More, which is sneak by us, no one's used it yet. But Heal More is on the menu for level 6. So once HP gets to a higher level, the Heal More becomes a much more useful trick.
And Sylverfyre's having a lot of good luck now with that Erdrick's sword just one-shotting these warlocks.
Centroid's going to venture and Jackimus are both trying to venture to the bottom cave there in the Tangel, which appears to be... Ooh, is that, that's Garen's... Is that Garen's cave? That's Mountain Cave. So Mountain Cave, the rest. Tyerenex finds Erdrick's Tablet Cave. Sylverfyre, first then put to sleep and killed again by a wolf. And now resume the grind down south. The treasury did have the death necklace. So that was early access for all runners. Ooh, Armor Knight. With hurt. Okay, that's kind of a blessing in disguise there.
Yeah, Syl is going to have a good amount of gold here as well, so we'll have to see what they do with it here.
Again, the big sword gives you higher attack power, and strength going up. So some enemies in the world now like, nah, I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to leave now.
If somebody could just stumble upon Cole, perhaps here, it'd be huge with the defense the way it is right now, and that'd be maybe even better than having found the sword.
Jack has found the Stone of Sunlight in the mountain cave. Again, Sylverfyre has the sword, which is rapidly increasing the rate of experience gain by making fights, very quick and easy. Whereas Jackimus is trying to explore that bottom. Ooh, Werewolf has Dragon Lord 2 breath. So a fast in-game enemy with good dodge abilities and a very powerful attack.
That is not good. Not good at all.
Tyerenex meanwhile explores another part of the map, branching out to find out what's in the world.
Yeah, I like what Sylverfyre is doing. Just keep grinding. Now, I think you would have to feel comfortable that you're with the sword working up a pretty good lead, or at worst case, keeping pace with everybody. And then it's just going to get you some gold, going to get you some armor. I think that's a good plan.
Tyerenex is wandered upon Rimbledar. We'll have a whole ring of keys in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's very nice. Especially if Tyerenex has found Garenham. Well, I guess they backed into Garenham, right? So.
No, actually, Garenham was on the map, just open. They found 2 towns. I think it was Garenham and Cantlin were very close together.
So did Syl have a key then to get into the back?
I'm trying to ponder. Unless Silver backed into it and then walked out and ended up on the outside. So maybe it was a back into, because I'm trying to think back to it. Maybe just luck. Level 7 brings Return Spell, which is somewhat useful.
Tyerenex is meeting the townsfolk in Rimbledar. God knows that that brown armor guy up there had some important business buying the equipment.
Ooh, found just in time, because forced out of town, Tyerenex finds the AK-47, and that's trouble.
A lot of terrible enemies hiding out in deserts right near towns is not going to make for any easy exploration, especially at their agility.
Yeah, enemies being very powerful with powerful attacks. So without access to hurt more, most of the enemies are going to be engaging you for at least 2 or 3 rounds of combat. If you can't run, you can't run, and just heavy damage over and over again. They're strong, they're very powerful, but they can't take a hit. And we've seen Green Dragon on the field, so none of the really big enemies, the dragons, the golems, have not really shown up yet. But Armor Knight is about as bad as it gets.
It's an interesting map, too. It's just kind of jerky, a lot of unclear paths.
Alright, Sylverfyre's found their way into the mountain cave. They should be finding these stones, if I recall correctly. Ooh, Fairy Flute. Okay, so Fairy Flute we missed last time. That's definitely in that cave as well.
Yeah, and Syl should be ahead here, just because of the higher levels. It's going to make diving this cave in full just that much easier. And quicker.
Unfortunately, no matter how strong you are, Armor Knight is stronger.
No. Commentator's curse, my apologies.
Also, if I already had these stones, where are the stones at? But I keep missing. I'm looking at the wrong screen every time the stones are found. I'm missing where the stones are at. Must be the top chest in the mountain cave, because Tyerenex is going in. So I'll watch Tyerenex and see if we can find where these blasted stones are. I mean, they're giant rocks that glow. I shouldn't be able to miss them. This shouldn't be a thing. Alright, since we're at Rimbledar, we'll check that one chest.
Jack's got a grind going here, so he's gonna have access to, anything that was in Breckenheim. I didn't really pay attention though once we saw the hand axe. I don't know that I really paid much attention to what else was there.
Sylverfyre also follows suit, is grinding gold as well. And due to the killing of many monsters, Sylverfyre is basically caught up with the gold grind already. So they're basically on pace gold grind wise. And Tyerenex might not be far behind.
Enjoy keeping track of this input race.
Centroid is going to grab some more keys, replace the ones lost in those 2 doors. And Tyerenex unfortunately runs through the mirror creatures down south and decides to leave the castle.
Yeah, Centroid's getting those keys now, so it's kind of opening up. I think it's really just get some armor, so Jack and Syl are going to be ahead when it comes to that. Getting this gold grind out of the way. The defense that this is going to bring them is going to be huge.
But you still gotta make it to town.
Yeah, did Jack? I don't think he. Oh, okay. Did he save?
I believe Jack saved, yes. Yes.
Okay, I missed that.
Also important that both saved about 2,000 gold. Jackimus saved 16,000. Sylverfyre saved 23.
Well, so Sylverfyre is counting on, I mean, with the sword in hand, just needing magic armor and the shield. Jack must have something earmarked for that amount of money.
You would think 13,000 gold pieces, probably a broadsword, magic armor, and a large shield, maybe around that area. Unless Jack is assuming that they're going to find a flame sword somewhere as well.
I know up to NG said that when it's undecided, he goes for 20,000. That's a good number in his mind to kind of get a good combination of things when you don't have any equipment at all. So Jack's number is a little lower than that, but you can still get depending on, it all depends on what's in the shop anyway. You got grind up all the money in the world. You got to find someplace selling it first.
It's funny that ETAP mentioned in the chat about that Sylverfyre is not grinding for a flame sword, which is true, but Sylverfyre also ground up for more gold. So I wonder what they are thinking about in regards to treasure-wise, because they have the best weapon in the game already, and they have more. They purposely grind more money than Jackimus. So I'm sure there's a town somewhere that had some goods. I'm intrigued. Tyerenex, meanwhile, is still trying to move on. Tyerenex, unfortunately, has found very little extras. Has not found a sword, not found too many good things, unfortunately. Has the axe, which is helping, but they're definitely having a hard grind of it. Yeah, man, the silver shield's a 14-7, I believe. So it's an interesting number to stop there at. Unless you're looking at broadsword and silver shield, which kind of makes sense. Jack heads down to the Breckenary shop. Hand axe, silver shield, anything else? Centroid encounters a axe knight. And that's that. Tyerenex is fighting a wolf lord, or playing a wolf. He went to sleep a lot, which is unfortunate. Sylverfyre is in the cave close to the castle. So not the castle basement, but the cave close to the castle. And a werewolf, which means probably fiery death. Ooh, got away. Lucky, lucky.
Wow, yeah, that was almost certain death.
Yeah, werewolves are very fast. They have dodge chance, it's pretty high. They might not die to hurt more, so they actually survive hurt more pretty strongly. Okay, so that was definitely the swamp cave then. Sylverfyre came out of the swamp cave in the back of Garenham and popped out again. Which takes the Caitlin, which probably leads to some good stuff. So maybe Sylverfyre can walk those extra 4 steps.
Taking a risk.
Ooh, rolling the dice on the Wraith kill.
Wraiths are dodgy creatures, so to speak.
Yeah, the skeleton family of enemies have a pretty high dodge chance. So Wraiths and Wraith Knights, and especially Demon Knights particularly, are very good at dodging attacks.
But Syl's gonna convert their grind here, and
there you have it. Magic armor and silver shield. So beyond fighting urgent stuff, you're basically set to go.
And that's going to just really extend this lead.
And it's hard to mention the Silver Shield's defense bonus. The Silver Shield is insane. It's a plus 20. Only the full plate magic armor and Earth's armor give more. So it's 10 more than the large shield too. So it's a huge boost of defense that you don't always see in a race because it's a lot of gold and it might not even show up in town. So it's hard to get your hands on if you can't do a gold grind. Very good to have. It definitely stops a lot of damage.
I don't know if you'd mentioned this earlier, but metal slimes have sleep. That is not ideal.
I just saw it, which is kind of funny because sleep will hit you. Funny thing about this game about stats effects, sleep, fast spell, 50-50 shot to hit you. Barnard's armor will stop it cold. Sleep will not miss. So if enemy says sleep, you're falling asleep. And then you have, I believe it's 50% chance to wake up every round. It goes on from there.
Oh, that green dragon hit Centroid for a 19. With no equipment, that seems like a really low roll.
The old man. We have 23 east, and is that 86? It's a long walk to wherever's on the map.
Yep, that sounds very Gwaylin-y for coordinates.
Max roll. Tyerenex find knowledge, snap on the flute. The flute is about halfway through the mountain cave, and Tyerenex keeps running to these werewolves that say, no thank you.
And yeah, pointing out in chat that is likely a second continent. I mean, it could be as simple as popping out the other side of the swamp cave to begin with, but you'll need Gwaylin's love to tell you where you're at over there.
Yeah, cave travel is interesting, but like mentioned, if you can't figure out where you are when you leave the town, you're kind of stuck. Unless you find a bridge leading to one piece of land, and one piece of land only, in which case you search that piece of land. And it usually is empty, but you gotta check. Yes, Iceberg, so it was 23 north and 86 west.
Oh, I had the north and west backwards, so that could really be anywhere.
Yeah, so you can get that far north of the castle without a problem, but walking west that many steps is not going to happen. Level 8 brings repel. It's handy for walking around the early game.
I do know with the flute already being found, though, that they're going to have to get to that search spot, which is going to be difficult with the enemies being what they are in this seed.
Yes, alright, so obviously we found the flute in a chest, which is possible, which means the search spot and Hawk's Nest have one of two things. One has a token, and one has Urge's armor. And Urged armor, frankly, is very powerful. Highest defense in the game armor-wise, for sure. Plus 28. Heal 1 per step. Soak half the damage from hurt and hurt more. Soak a third the damage from fire breath. Ignore stop spell. And ignore barriers on the ground and swamps on the ground.
Yeah, Centroid's been grinding pretty efficiently, I guess, all things considered, as well as anybody, obviously. Somehow I missed how, but Syl took down that armored knight. I'm not really sure if it was chanting something or how that worked.
Well, Armor Knight has hurt as a spell cast, so if you get really lucky with the rolls.
That was a fantastic fight then that they put together there.
In early game, it's good to have that experience boost. Later on, it takes quite a few fights to get levels again. But if you can get that crazy experience boost and gain a level or 2 levels real fast in a shot, that's a real speed up to your whole run.
Yeah, I think Centroid's got to have some equipment. We just haven't had a chance to see what.
Well, I know it's in there.
Yeah,
Leaf stick.
now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this part I know.
Yield boomstick.
Alright, and that pops the door. Honestly, that's kind of a hasty decision. Probably excited to get the sword. But you can walk out of town and walk right back in and save that key.
Right. Well, and with the way this scene is going, if you have an extra key, maybe just go through the door.
Yeah, alternatively, you could also walk out of town and people instead of getting blown up by an armored knight. So, other options also possible.
Oh my, the NPC. Oh.
Alright, meanwhile, on top of the map, so our bot racers have good weaponry. Alrighty, so again, our top racers are struggling finding the gear and the places. The bottom racers are much more streamlined, though Centroid has much less money and much less armor than Sylverfyre has found.
And the armor is the key right now.
Centroid is going to use the key and find out for themselves the long walk awaits.
And it is an AK in Hawkness too, so Syl's already beat 1 once. Just needs to get lucky again here.
It's intriguing, because whenever that knight rolls heal, you can take a swing, and with that sword you do a lot of damage. You can also take a swing and hope for the lucky crit. $1,000 defeat the armor knight. You gain your goods and you gain the token of Erdrick.
Not ideal, but very good. Good thing to get out of the way.
Well, you gotta have it, so can't complain too much. Won't save you in a fight, but you kinda have to have it to beat the game.
Yeah, because some jerk says so. So, does Syl just immediately get the princess, or maybe try a count first, or maybe go about business somewhere else? Be interesting to see what they decide here.
Tyerenex has found Caitlin has not challenged the old man's barrier yet.
Centroid got his coordinates.
Is Sylverfyre attempting to do a backwards count?
It's interesting.
No,
Can be
not.
done.
It can be done. High number especially. The map is only 128 by 128, so you can count from the edge of the map and go backwards. Yes, the flute was the mountain cave. It was the third chest in mountain cave. So the top chest was stone sunlight in the far right there. You go downstairs, and the first 2 chests in the top there are just kind of hanging out. One was the fairy flute. Coal's not been found yet.
But we do know that the bath is empty today.
Yeah, we have coordinates, so we know that the armor is on the ground somewhere. Old man Erdrick was walking around, having a good time, and then old man Time caught to him. He just fell over.
Potentially our hero might be tempted to just rough up the old man here after hearing those coordinates.
It's 4,000 miles away. Remember, lawful good. Lawful good.
You couldn't leave it a little closer to home?
Well, he kind of just wandered around. That's what he did. You know, if you follow the lore and go back to 3, he showed up by falling out of the sky, so he'll land what he wants to.
The other part of this is really, like you mentioned, there's no... Like, leveling is difficult right now. The armor and the shield is really putting Syl ahead right now, as Jackimus gets his sword.
Alright, Jackimus finds a sword. Unfortunately, Tyerenex had really bad luck. Whenever Tyerenex tried to go to a cave or walk around, they've gotten struck down very quickly. I was joking before, I was watching the previous race in chat about if you do a moderation or a modification, have your hero be the Dry Lord instead, and have the hero in Charlock. And like, no, just, I am Erdrick, hero of heroes. It's all that fun stuff. Let's go for that. But it'll be interesting to see that happens later on. But in the meantime, Jack will now find the long walk awaits. Centroid knows where Swamp Cave is, so they're trying to find the princess, and I believe the princess is guarded by a stone man.
Do they? I haven't paid attention. Do they have the sleep spell? That'd be great for Stone Man murdering.
No sleep yet. So it's going to be a straight up fight, and at 46 points and questionable defense, especially for Centroid, not so good of a plan. So Stone Man is interesting. It's a high defense enemy, high HP enemy, high damage, but especially for endgame, has a very reasonably low susceptibility to sleep. So you can put him to sleep pretty easily. Normally you get sleep level 4 or 5 in the game, and it wouldn't be a big deal. Level 7 actually, if I recall correctly. But you don't have it now. So Sylverfyre will find out the same news and see how it works.
Yeah, that's just an immediate run. There's nothing you can do with that, unfortunately.
Just walks in, just turns the corner, there's a big fist flying at you, and it's like, no, I'm leaving. No, thank you.
46 hit points at level 8 is paired, especially paired with this defense, is pretty disgusting right now.
The funny thing is, Sylverfyre has the most defense. Like, you're not getting more defense besides gaining levels and finding that armor behind or on the ground somewhere. So it's not getting easier.
And I can't imagine that Syl would have had the luck that they had with a couple 3 armor knight kills I've seen already without the shield and the magic armor. I just can't imagine it.
Yeah, Centroid will not be able to replicate that. If Centroid finds an armor knight, Centroid's going to die because defense is not there, and yeah, the gear is making it easier for Sylverfyre.
I saw briefly with that status check though on Centroid. Centroid does have a half plate, so that's something, but it's nothing in terms of that armor knight.
No, unless you roll here and get a crit, a crit, a hurt, and a lucky another hit afterwards, you're probably in trouble. But Centroid doesn't know what's waiting here, so Centroid is going to explore now. Yeah, armor knight's like, oh, look at this guy with only half armor. Ah, check out my full armor. Tyerenex again. See, Tyerenex is having awful luck in these caves. Tyerenex is just trying to get through and gets about halfway around, and then something just destroys them. And it's not even their fault, they're just very powerful enemies. Well, Tyerenex is going for a grind now.
It's hard to not get tilted in seeds like this, too, to keep your focus when you're constantly just getting jerked back to the castle.
There we go. Grind away. So that death was actually on purpose. So lucky. Now Tyerenex will get a lot of gold. We'll head down to the town. We'll probably buy a silver shield, magical armor, and have the gear that Sylverfyre has. So in all reality, not too far behind.
Yeah, there's still just so much to be determined. A few hundred experience here or there can be made up very quickly.
Yeah, basically just endgame RNG grinding. You run into a few extra golems or a few extra weak enemies, and they keep running to like the werewolves that dodge and breathe fire on you. You can make it up pretty fast. I think Jack was trying to cast Heal More, and didn't quite work out. Centroid's cracked 1,000 experience points. Sylverfyre's at 1485. And the top two racers are... Ooh, actually, Jackimus is way behind experience-wise. 400 points of experience for Jackimus, and 832 for Tyerenex.
Even at that, though, the wrong choice in the endgame grind is, I mean, a few hundred points again. Not a big deal, and we know that Hurtmore hasn't really played a factor yet, and it'd be hard to say if it will or won't here.
With the strength gains we're getting now, and Urza's Sword, Hurtmore is not nearly as critical, but Hurtmore is still basically 60 damage on a stick. Like, you want to blow something up in one round, that's the way to go. Especially Armor Knights, soften up real good. Rogue Scorpions die one hit guaranteed. Werewolves might die in one hit. Not good for Stone Man, not good for the boss enemies we're seeing, but always good to have. Next, we'll challenge the cave once more. Hey, fun police. Hey, big level. Holy crap. Okay, we found all the stats. The stats were found at level 10.
Yeah, apparently so. But all those
Red
stats does not save Syl.
Red Dragon's like, you got big stats. Maybe. Maybe you've got big stats. But no stats can outsmart Dragon Breath. Alright, Tyerenex again. Headed back to Caitlin. We got some money? We got some money. Let's buy some stuff. Centroid pops to the back of Garenham. We'll now check out this part of the map and see what they can find. And Jackimus finally finds the last chest in the mountain cave. Tyerenex will now, fully geared, will attempt to find the secret of the Hawk's Nest, and will be... Oh, never mind. We'll have a lot of fire breath in his face. The Tyerenex fortunately runs to a werewolf that has the fire breath still. Going to be a problem regardless. Sylverfyre exploring a part of the map I've not seen recently. The swamp there is interesting. So all the racers, I think, besides Jackimus, have... No, Centroid only has half plate still and no shield. So Centroid's actually the farthest behind, gear-wise. Never tried to do a gold grind. You tap. Tyerenex did. Tyerenex had 24,000. So a shield, I would imagine, has been purchased by Tyerenex.
It's hard to say with everything going on, but now's the time to be making mental notes of little areas where you're finding wyverns or you're finding druid lords or things like that. A little grind stop here might save you a lot of time in the long run.
It's true. The main thing I look out for is, you know, Swamp Cave is Stone Man is a problem. You're figuring to find the armor as your next step. You need to kill that Stone Man. I want to sleep now. So experience points is probably the thing to play for. That's key. The damage for Dragonlord Breath is set to a range. So Silver Shield will not save you from Dragonlord damage.
Yeah, there's only one thing that helps with that.
Two things, actually. One, Urgent Armor. Two, don't be in front of a dragon. Or a dragon facsimile that has Dragon Breath. That should not have Dragon Breath. Ooh, Axe Knight just hits hard. So Tyerenex gambled on the Axe Knight trying to save the MP for that fight with the Armor Knight and cannot get past. Alright, Centroid hits level 9. Sylverfyre gets hit by a red dragon. And JackimusWedge hits the northwest of the map. Yeah, it's funny you tap. The price range for that shield is obnoxious. The differential between that and magic armor is insane. Which doesn't really make much sense, honestly. But it is shiny.
We love shiny.
So shiny. I mean, 10 more defense. You can't know. You can't argue with 10 more defense. But the price differential in this game really makes no sense. It just doesn't follow the curve.
Yeah, I'm not great on my Dragon Warrior algorithms here, but I think having the silver shield over a large shield is the difference of 20 agility points.
Large shield is 10, so yeah, effectively 20 points, because every 2 points of a stat equates to basically that many, half as many points for the stat, for the total combined stat proper.
Doesn't make it any easier to run or anything like that, but it does help you not die.
Yeah, it buffs your stat, not the actual core stat. So it buffs the, what's the word for it? I guess the derivative stat. werewolf draws near. Yep, werewolf does work on Tyrenex's side. Sylverfyre survives. Ooh, JackimusWedge. The careful walk makes me wonder.
He's trying to get it figured out here.
If you get a point of reference from that side of the map and get over there, you can start recounting again.
It'll be difficult, but as you're well aware, it's how we used to do things pretty much every time.
Centroid strikes level 10. Feels strong welling within their body. However, Sylverfyre one-ups and gets 29 HP at level 11.
That's useful.
Hello, Stone Man. I'm back. JackimusWedge runs the wrong side of werewolf. Alright, so again, Sylverfyre doing lots of damage now. Their strength's going high enough that the sword's really doing an impact on the Snowman. And Snowman appears to be pretty vanilla, just a lot of damage but no actual skills. So you're safe there.
That might be a place to come back to immediately after getting the armor and just killing them by the boatload here.
Yeah, Snowman's a potent kill, a lot of HP to get a grind through it, but vanilla, no stats, no tricks. If you're strong, actually, Armor Knight might not be a bad play. Armor Knight is hurt, so make some free rounds off Armor Knight versus the Snowman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with the HP, then it seemed like about 50-50 hurt, maybe even better.
And Hawk's Nest is right there, so we'll see.
Centroid's going to cash in with any luck here and get his token.
Well, T-Pain, if you saw the coordinates, you can see them, they are sizable, and it's a split map, so you're not walking to that spot.
Yeah, still is not shy about trying to count, but with this map, these enemies, and those coordinates, they thought better of it.
Yeah, math is hard. It's been a long day, dark outside. The weekend, you don't want to do math. Alrighty, so the Sylverfyre presumably going towards the armor, and other racers trying to figure out the details. Centroid gets their hands on the token. Tyerenex and Jack are trying to figure out how to get stronger and get more power. Alrighty, so let's see here. Endgame thoughts. Dragon Lord, when you fight the Dragon Lord at 120, you start doing damage to him proper, attack power wise. So every 2 points beyond that, increase your range a bit. So basically, the more strength you get, the more hits you can do. If you have double attack chances for more HP, you can do more damage to them over a short period of time. And obviously, you're going to be hit really hard, so having enough MP to heal more repeatedly is required. So there's some set stats you want to try and get, some baselines, to survive Dragon Lord proper. So you're looking at, let's see, you want a minimum of 96 HP to survive a full-powered hit, and a full-powered Dragon Breath will be about somewhere 94 damage, I believe. So, or 96 is the maximum, so you want 98 to survive, preferably. And then the attack power above 120 or higher is how you start doing real damage to Dragon Lord. You assume every time you cast a heal more is 8 MP, and you want to get to the castle without losing all your MP in the first place, so agility is good to not get into fights and get away from them as fast as you can. This refines level 11, and you're seeing the benefit here. Sylverfyre's stat boosts are different. Sylverfyre's name is not the same as Centroid's name in the game, so Sylverfyre will have a higher strength and agility stat, Sylverfyre will have equal strength but a higher hit point stat. So, where Sylverfyre is 95, Centroid has 103. And time will tell if that difference, might scale out endgame for a real boost.
Yeah, things can change throughout the rest of this seed, but this is one where if I'm looking at it with any hindsight, I might be tempted to put on the strength agility instead of the strength HP, even though neither stat has been great until level 11 here.
Sylverfyre is very close. Very close. There it is. Recap, you say? Alrighty, let's recap. So, opening chest had a wings to escape the throne room with a key. Your treasury had death necklace and a few things there, a goal for a grind. Under the castle is actually the mountain cave, which had the stones of sunlight and the fairy flute. Garenham, which you can walk through the swamp cave, backed out into Urza's sword. Let's see, the token was found in Hawk's Nest. The fairy flute was found in the mountain cave I mentioned. Otherwise, we've not seen the harp yet. We've not seen the staff, obviously. The cave for the staff, I think, is close to the start. I have not seen the jerk yet. And the armor is very far away on the ground, just found by Sylverfyre. The guardians are Hawk's Nest token, guarded by the Armor Knight. The princess guarded by a stone man. And obviously the boss in Sherlock is still unknown.
And of course, the thing unmentioned has been unfound to this point is the silver harp. That's what we need now to... I don't know, have we seen the jerk yet?
Have not seen the jerk. The harp cave is close to start, I believe. I believe the cave south, when you go out of the castle, is the silver harp exchange cave. But the actual jerk himself is still at large.
That is correct.
And as mentioned by ETAP, yes, Garen's grave has not been found, and Sherlock has not been found yet, so you have to find the Night Lord to fight him.
Hide and seek champion again here.
Centroid takes down the stone man with the bevy of HP, and now save their own princess.
So we see the order of how things are going, and really the big difference here is I see some things in chat about how would some of the racers be so far behind. The big thing for Syl was finding the sword so early. Got through the swamp cave earlier than everybody else, which was no easy task, and getting that boomstick that early really translated to a big lead.
That was a crit destruction of a red dragon by Sylverfyre.
Minced fun police.
Fun's over. Everybody go home. Alrighty, so Centroid investing in a small shield with something. Correct math girl. The top racers, Jackimus and Tyerenex, have not found the token. It is under the Hawk's Nest Guardian. They have not had the really means to fight that yet. Especially Jackimus only has leather armor, so much softer than Tyerenex. Sylverfyre, meanwhile, starting to fight some pretty higher end enemies. So walking around, just taking fights, getting experience points, and moving along. Yes, Death Necklace is an option. I believe Jack didn't sell their Death Necklace. I don't know.
Oh, did he wind up selling it?
I'm not sure if they sold it or not. I know everyone got it. It was in the treasury. It was definitely there to be had. I'm not sure who sold it, who not, though. I'm pretty sure most of them who had gold did a gold grind to have it. If they've held on to it to the end of the game, they'll be happy because they have a whole lot of hit points.
Yeah, it's really it's a potential play at this point, but no telling how these levels are gonna actually shake out here.
Yeah, I'm after all. Jack did reset. Yes, to try and get the hand axe early. Didn't pan out. Alrighty. Centroid takes out Armor Knight in the overworld. Ding, level 12.
Let's see, it looked like Syl just came out of a cave, but I'm not sure which one.
You've seen the extreme difference of the armor now. The variance of the Red Dragon doing between 24 and 40 something damage. So the higher damage range of the Red Dragon is there. If you have enough defense power, agility, and armor, it lowers their range. So the damage is weird. Like it's not like it doesn't like lower over and over again. There's 2 damage formulas for every enemy. And once your defense is so high, you go to the lower formula. So you'll never not be hurt by a Red Dragon. But you'll take a lot less damage. Sylverfyre knows the location of Jerk Cave. That jerk. Alright, so actually that cave is interesting. Tyerenex was by that cave before and got killed about 3 steps from it. So Tyerenex was close to the Jerk Cave. But Sylverfyre has that knowledge now. Centroid with a valiant battle. The Red Dragon digs deep and rolls the 48. Takes him down. So again, with half-plate armor, you're not getting that lower damage value range. So Red Dragon's very dangerous damage-wise. Level 13, see stats slowed down a bit. Not as strong. Ooh, Sylverfyre finds a whole lot of spells at 13. Let's see what we got. Radiant, stop spell, sleep. I think outside return, but not hurt more. Jack gets back to the start. Not going to the swamp cave this time, so where's Jack heading to? Nope. Swamp cave.
The progress, I mean, we're starting to get to that roundabout where as soon as they can find this last cave and get the harp wherever it may lie, we're going to be entering into grind mode and be really coming down the home stretch here.
Yeah, Sylverfyre's in the Garen's grave is found, so I have to assume this cave is probably the harp. We are running out of spots for it. And there's one chest one level down and one chest all the way at the bottom. We've seen the chest in Rumildar, we've seen the chest in Tatangel, we've seen the chests in the Mountain Cave. Barring my knowledge, unless the Sunstone Cave. That could be an option still.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that, but we did, I believe. If you didn't just mention it, you may have, but we did see the Tablet Cave.
Oh, yeah, Tablet Cave was found as well. So we have the 2 chests remaining in Garen's grave, and the Stones of Sunlight Cave, Vanilla, to find the harp.
Well, folks in chat, if you're looking for a troll, let's hope for that bonus cave.
JackimusWedge battles, or views the Battle of the Armor Knight in Hawksness. Tyerenex right behind. So both are trying to figure out, where's my stuff? I want the armor. Jack has paused his stream, or has there been a hiccup there? We'll see. Centroid getting very close to the armor.
Entering that grassy area.
Alrighty, so JackimusWedge is back online. Dragon kills him, that's fine. You have the token, that's all you need. Tyerenex doing the same fight now. With similar stats, shouldn't be a problem. Sylverfyre wandering around.
Cursed belt on that level is not going to be very helpful.
Joys. So at the very, very bottom, we may find the harp. It is a null spot. Now, Chad, I'll ask you to be responsible with your blame and remove this.
Make sure you do so loudly and with all caps, please.
That'll be surely appreciated. A blue dragon. Amazing. Let's see anything special for Centroid here. Blue dragons are vanilla. They just hit really, really hard.
And chat pointing out, still no hurt more. Or,
Nope.
right? Yeah, okay.
If Hurtmore is still not quite around yet. Again, with Urge of Swords, not nearly terrifying. Ooh, Red Dragon escaped for Sylverfyre, which is good. Sylverfyre was very deep in Garen's grave. We're really fortunate to have that be an issue.
That would have been very costly and no resources really, so it's all going to be the luck of the dice roll here the rest of the way.
Masquerade, neither one has saved the princess on top, no. They have the coordinates they're not thinking about. They tried Hawk's Nest first to try and get an easy find of the...
Gold. Gold in the bottom.
Oh, let the troll commence.
He'll be off in some reclusive corner of some peninsula on this terribly windy map.
Why has no hero ever found me yet? I only live in the farthest part of the world. Why does no one visit me? Alright, Centroid now one around. I do believe armor in hand, or armor on self. It's interesting now, because actually Sylverfyre has the armor, which means dying down here would be hard to do. But you might want to die to get out of this cave. Ah, thank you, Starman. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
So now, somewhere in the world is a cave, a one location cave to find this world. It's very annoying in this game because the old man, unfortunately, you can't really zoom the map out, so you're forced to scour the world with your basically 8x8 viewing level.
Yeah, there's no coordinate clues for the bonus cave, unfortunately. And it is very easy to miss just one single tile.
Sylverfyre, maybe you can go to the bottom of the mountain cave for the first time.
You know, though, I believe Tyerenex did go back down and I think got to the very bottom chest, right? If I remember right.
Yeah, there was nothing important down there at the very bottom. So it was first chest is token, then yeah, fairy flute down in the middle there, but nothing good in the rest of them.
It'll be interesting. I think Syl is pretty thorough with their kind of tracking of everything, but it'd be interesting. It'd be an easy thing to forget that one bonus cave, whether or not you found it in this particular seed.
You know, where's Jack find it? Jack is in Swamp Cave again, so Jack, let me go for the princess now. Alright, Tyerenex scouring the world. Tyerenex has been walking around quite a bit. They might actually find the heart first. They're making an effort to really scour the earth.
Oh, and Syl had to actually throw. It was showing up as a bamboo pole because of the grind, the chest glitch.
Oops,
So,
see. You don't know. Did you actually do the thing? Is this real? Oh, it's dragon scale. Never mind.
replaced his dragon scale with another dragon scale. Replaced theirs.
Alright, back to the swamp cave. Yes, there's a swamp north, so you can't actually just... If you come to the swamp... Actually, no, it's a token cave. Sylverfyre, skip the token cave. I don't recall seeing Sylverfyre in the token cave, actually. It might be a surprise. I think we both know it's not anything important. But if you don't know, you gotta look for it.
Yeah, now it's just all the annoying little chests spread throughout, and a little bit of extra frustration each time you open one.
You don't actually track your chests. You can be really like, if you are missing that one last chest, you know it's out in the world somewhere. It could really bite you.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I tend to not really map and not really track too well. So, in a seed like this, it can cause a lot of problems.
Jack has the princess. These coordinates. That means searching. I'm actually shocked Tyerenex has not tried searching yet, because I know Tyerenex also has found the token. So they know, everyone knows that the armor's on the ground somewhere. Alrighty, Sylverfyre heading back to the swamp cave. Somewhere in that part of the world is obviously the last cave we're trying to find. Usually no one's using repel. Most of them are walking around just taking their fights. You figure they repel to get the weak stuff out of their face. Oh, there we go. So far, just use repel. Eat my words.
Oh, that was official. I hurt more at 14. Not quite the worst ever, but...
Alrighty, so right when you have all the HP in the world, and a big sword, and all the strength you ever want, you learn hurt more.
Now, another thing, just from coming up about the same time as Syl here, I know for a fact they map, or at least last year when I used to watch Syl's stream, they were one for having the grid paper out and mapping, so that could very well come in handy here for knowing where Syl has and hasn't been to this point.
Yeah, no, it's interesting with the map because it's not uniform. So grids can help you, but grids can also, lie to you a bit out there. I know some racers use like just a general, like a piece of paper and like, north of the castle is this, just write down the town name and just general like, I walked around a little right and up, so put it over there. It's not a like accurate map, but like just a generalization of like, if you walk around like this, you'll eventually find that thing again. And future games have zoom spells that zoom the map out a little bit so you can see what's around you. And you obviously realize that was a real pain in the neck. They had that in the spells that let you travel town to town. So those were features that aided in Dragon Warrior 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah, you gotta do things the old-fashioned way here. Just tromping around, hoping for the best.
So far, actually actively engaging Red Dragons in combat now for experience points.
Another thing, a minor note here. I don't know that we've seen Cole yet either. I haven't really been paying attention or looking for it specifically.
Oh, Sherlock. Cole was found by Sylverfyre a while back, but just simply walked through, went to the inn, left, because obviously nothing in town.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Tyerenex... Not sure if he knows the coordinates or not. Here's a cave at the end of nothing. No, just another cave, so...
I'm pretty sure Tyerenex has seen the coordinates, so I'm confident that every racer has seen the actual old man in Caitlin.
Okay. Interesting to have not went ahead with the knowledge. Magic armor's pretty good, I guess, but...
Ooh, Centroid found the harp. Where did Centroid find the harp? I missed that. What? I'm looking at the racers.
Yeah,
Centroid just cashing the harp. Right over our noses.
that's
Okay.
fan.
Ah, it's by Sherlock. Okay, so it's close to it.
So Syl's right there, too.
Saved. There are 4 streams and 2 eyes. Doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, 4 eyes, although mine aren't that great.
You need googly eyes. Alright, Tyerenex is going to dig through Garen's grave and be suitably trolled at the end.
This would be a good time to point out, as High Spirits called out that bonus cave in chat. Make sure you're giving all your props and follows to our restreamer High Spirits, as well as our trackers. We got Math Girl, and I believe Darkrid. Thank you very much for all your hard work.
Yep, Darkrid. Alright, I believe Jack is searching for the armor now. Sylverfyre's found the harp and is now cashing it in. Which means off to the Jerk Cave. In fact, short of the Silver Shield differential, Centroid might be ahead of Sylverfyre in terms of plot. But as you're observing these stats on our stream here, they're still kind of red, they're still a bit low for doing the deed. Giant Lord's dangerous, the agility being super low and the strength being questionable. A fight is dangerous, MP is a little bit low for my liking. HP is okay, but it's still questionable.
And I know you'd mentioned it earlier when we started up the stream, and this isn't the first quad of the tournament, so people are probably getting used to it, but this is 2 separate races. As far as Jackimus goes, all he needs to do is catch up to Tyerenex. Unfortunately, Centroid on the other side of things has to catch all the way up to Sylverfyre here to take home a victory today.
Ooh, lucky crit for Tyerenex. It's funny, but Tyerenex is, I think, a step away from that chest.
Nice 67, just good enough.
Ended up being a troll, but that would be really tragic if Tyerenex got right to the chest right before and then died with Red Dragon a step from the chest.
Yeah, that's some generous fun police down at the very bottom of the grave. Could have been so much worse for both Syl and Tyerenex.
Alright, so the left side of our race, is going to be a little bit ahead of the action in terms of knowledge and experience. The right side, though, Centroid does, I think, have the access to the end game. I'm not sure what they're looking for now, though. Oh, the Jerk Cave is probably not found. I think still knows the Jerk Cave is. Oh, so Centroid is right there.
Gonna do a virtual high five here. Now the big note is, as far as equipment goes, Centroid's still at the small shield, which is a 15 defense point difference between the silver and the small.
So Centroid's going to head downtown there for some reason. Sylverfyre is looking to grind and armor knights, it seems. Tyerenex is going to, unfortunately, at the start. And Jackimus will cash in the Staff of Rain.
So Jack is going to be into go mode here. At least, well, not go mode, but grind mode a little earlier than Tyerenex will be.
Correct. Again, that's a lot of bad luck on Tyerenex's part. That's just been a lot of dives cut short by, ambushes and sleeps and fire breaths. Tyerenex has done a lot of, walking the caves 20 times because the enemies just said no.
It is about an 1800 experience point lead for Tyerenex thus far, though, so that's not completely dismissible. It really just depends on how quickly Jack can get into grind mode. It looks like probably, I guess he's going to go for the Stone Man.
Tyerenex doesn't stay the princess, so Tyerenex is going to the swamp cave to find the GPS to find the armor.
Yeah, a lot left for Tyerenex to do here. I'm not sure what Jack is exactly plotting at this point. If it's Hawkness grinding.
So Sylverfyre is grinding on the armor knights at Hawksness, which, as mentioned before, now is viable due to the fact that they cast hurt sometimes, so it's basically a free round of combat. Centroid is going to... I'm not sure.
Make sure that he picked up the sword, apparently. I'm not sure what he was looking for there.
He's more gold. Centroid goes to Garanham and buys a large shield, which is better than a small shield.
So now we're gonna start to play the whose stats do you want game here for Sylverfyre after he knocks off this last Armored Knight to see where we might be at.
Pretty small level. Right back to the grind.
Not great. No, not great.
But you're seeing as basically a full level of grind with no leaving, so the damage values are much lower. Healing is done by the armor and the spell, of course. So Sylverfyre is basically ground a whole level with one trip. And even if you die, you're basically right there. So you die, walk 3 steps out of the castle, and you're back at Hawk's Nest. Meanwhile, Centroid might be grinding on the Stoneman.
It's not like a bad grind per se, it's just suboptimal. The Armored Knight's gonna have, like you mentioned, the free turns with the hurts at this point. They're not gonna be hitting on their physicals for too much more than the Stone Man is going to. And they give you about, what, I think like 21 extra experience points per kill.
Yeah, AKs are, unfortunately in this case, superior in just about every way if possible fighting them. Even location to get back to him. Stone Man is farther away from the castle. Just all things point to Armored Knight this fight, so that grind choice is going to come back and haunt Centroid, to my knowledge.
Jackimus has completed his fetch quest with the Rainbow Drop.
And Tyerenex is now on the hunt for armor.
And Jack hasn't even quite gotten down into grind mode yet, and he is only about 1400 now. Experience points back, getting some kills along the way.
Alright. Grind time is on. Dragon Warrior Randomizer again. Like other randomizers usually have the fights going there. There's a portion of time where you are going to have to grind Dragon Warrior Randomizer. There's no getting around that. It would be a really extreme seed with stat gains to basically play the game streamlined and never stop to fight things.
Yeah, that's pretty rare. Pretty rare. I mean, there's grinds to various lengths, but very rare to not have to grind at all. It's almost kind of a failure if you don't have to grind, because that maybe means it just took you too long to find everything. It wasn't very efficient.
With level 19, you just found the armor. Maybe you did something wrong, but beyond that, it's kind of hard to do in this game.
No, he said the bonus. I'm not sure where Jack is headed right now.
Not sure either. Again, Charlock and the Staff of Rain Field. He already has a Staff of Rain. So, Jack was a Charlock is. What's Jack looking for?
Maybe looking for red dragons to murder. I'm not really sure.
Again, they're pretty vanilla. Those red dragons in the siege are pretty tame, so a lot of physical combat, no actual tricks. There's Charlock. Maybe Jack on the Charlock the grind there.
It's an interesting idea. I don't know what the motivator would really be for that, but maybe just wants to take a peek as to what Charlock's going to look like for, you know, he's only got limited resources till he probably gets murdered anyway, so hard to say.
There we go. Get this right back in place. Centroid has wisened up to the fact that Snowman is in the dark, the cold place where it's rainy and dank and smells moldy. Let's go Hawk's Nest instead.
Syl is on the verge of, what is that, level 16 approaching.
Yeah, it's very close. I believe 9750, if I recall correctly.
2 more AKs, and they'll have it in the books here. Syl just playing this seed about as efficiently as you could.
Yep, outside the troll in Garen's grave, which I think has gotten every racer has gotten Garen's grave, has walked through the whole thing and been fooled at the end. But other than that, it's been basically sort of early, faster grinding, faster treasure stuff. It's been all pretty much roses for Silver. Tyerenex has found the armor. Excellent. So all of our racers have the gear. Plus 15. Pondering if you want. It appears so. So Sylverfyre decides that's enough. We're going to Charlock. Tyerenex wanders around Charlock as well, looking for the Staff of Rain. And Centroid's about 2,000 experience points behind. We'll probably be making their way to Charlock in about 6-7 minutes themselves. Jax meanwhile is in Charlock. Jackimus is crazy. So Jackimus is much lower and much... Yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm not sure if Jackimus' play here. Maybe try to grind 15 the way down, and then see if they get lucky.
It's really hard to say. Jack's kind of an unpredictable fellow, but known to take risks. But this seems like a plot of some other type.
Well, in Jackimus' mind, I'm not sure details. If I spent my first 20 minutes trying to get a hand axe that never panned out, and then found Urza's sword, 40 minutes in, and realized it's behind him probably, and said, oh crap. Yeah, maybe you have to do an early dive and pray for luck. Tyerenex has found the stones. Nope, that's Sylverfyre. Yes, Sylverfyre is there. Back to the castle, trade in, walk all the way back here. Walk to the dirt cave, then walk all the way back there, then cash in. And Jackimus is going downstairs. But using resources. Jackimus is feeling freely, using Radiant. So Jackimus is trying to raid the treasury for the Fire's Ring? Possibly?
Yeah, it's just really hard to say. Not ideal monsters, although he is getting kills on the red dragons, but not what you necessarily want to see with your tests.
Meanwhile, just upstairs is Sylverfyre.
That strength agility is going to be helping out Syl here. One failed dive though, really. Centroid is not too far back. He's going to be done with his grind here. Assuming 16 looks roughly the same for him at strength HP that it does Syl.
Ooh, Sylverfyre gets mowed down by a red dragon. So this might be the little catch-up you're looking for.
It's a long walk too. It's a long walk to Charlock. At least it looks like it to me.
No, Charlock's annoying. Swamp Cave. No. Outside Swamp Cave, go back outside, go to Garenham, walk in and out of it, go back to Garenham again, sleep at the inn, then walk to Charlock.
Not ideal, yeah. But the attack power, it's hard to. That's really, what is that? What is that, 6 to 13 range? So 9.5 average.
Yeah, it's not great. You're running by the skin of your teeth.
The defense isn't stellar either, even at strength HP and the silver shield.
Yeah, the stats are, they're all borderline. The stats are, you can try, you might win. You feel comfortable? No. Are you clenched all the time? Yeah, probably. If you get lucky double or triple or no 2 doubles, you probably make your way in there. If you roll too low a few times, that'll be a problem. But if you get enough beatdown down and do a lucky Hail Mary hurt more, you never know. Alright, JackimusWedge unfortunately was killed by a stray strike in the castle and is back to grinding at Hawksness. Joined now by Tyerenex, who is a level higher and ready to do the same things. So they're basically neck and neck now.
Yeah, that all evened out. Getting everything done early for Jack really gave him the in he needed. More fun police though.
Fun police. There we go. Again, fun police, you might have to just, beat down. Your agility is not that great. Oh look, more fun police.
Yeah, and the Centroid's not too far behind here, but I don't know that he's gonna go on level 16.
Well, Centroid has lower agility too, so no matter how fair you go, if you go there with similar stats, it sounds great until you realize that, oh, I can't run from anything.
Yeah, and Syl is maybe just thinking I'm just gonna fight my way down to pick up level 17.
It's a possible option. Also, you can just start wailing on things and you get experience points for it. If you get into a few fights and walk 25 steps, get your HP back, it helps. Which is a real rough thing. The stats are all borderline. Like, other HP is pretty good, but all the stats are borderline. Doot doot. Essentially taking a long, hard look at those stats and wondering,
Wondering what we're all wondering. Although the thing that Jack and Syl have over their opponents thus far is they have the knowledge of what Charlock looks like enemy-wise.
True. And it's very angry. It's Red Dragons, Armor Knights, as far as I can see. It's a very hostile Charlock.
At least we haven't seen that werewolf yet, but less of a danger right now than these other guys.
Where's Tyerenex heading to? Oh, Tyerenex has to cash in the actual for the drop. Here's your drop. Get out of my cave. Yes, Magic Girl. Tyerenex does have the armor. It's also Centroid. Despite having the slightly... Actually, no, you have lower agility and you have large shields that have silver shield, so Centroid's very fragile, comparatively. So Adrenaline might hit you harder than his breath, which is a terrifying thought. Well, that's all part of the mindset too. It's an hour 40 into the race. Clearly, I made some mistakes in my race. Do I dive now and risk it? Do I grind a level and hope they're also having problems? Once you get to a certain point in the race, your timer in your head's like, okay, how long have I taken? Where did I go wrong?
Yeah, it's really hard not to be tilted in a seed like this.
I don't just call it tilting. It's a matter that you know it's a hard grind, and if you found the sword where it was found, it was kind of a free find once you got past that cave. So if your red sword was kind of easy to get to, we didn't find it for a half hour or so, you wonder how fast did my opponent find this cave next to the castle, walk through it, and find a sword basically lying on the ground. Meanwhile, Tyerenex and Jackimus are taking turns fighting armor knights. Cue your Rocky montage.
I'll be interested to see if either of them choose to just go straight back into the grind for level 17. So it appears Centroid's made his choice.
Intriguing that both racers at the top there also have different stat choices. So strength HP versus strength agility, as we have on the bottom.
Yep, vice caddy corner, so Jackimus the one with the strength agility, looks like. You can see that doesn't translate, as we talked about earlier, the agility stat compared to defense is a little wonky. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, but then you add the equipment on top. So the agility, the strength agility build is going to help you run from things a little more than it is going to make a big difference in how much of a pop you can take to the face.
There we go. 17 brings a whole chunk of agility. Sylverfyre goes diving back in. Pilot, it's interesting.
That really should do it. It looked like anyway to me.
It needs more agility. It's definitely a good boost. Death Necklace might be available. All racers got it.
It was borderline to begin with. I didn't see exactly what else came with it.
It was +8 agility. And
doesn't appear to be much in the way of MP. Couple points with the hit points. Not sure about the attack power.
Jack's not diving, but Jack's still using magic, so Jack is still grinding on the top floor of Tyerenex. Very strange. Tyerenex is still grinding Hawk's Nest. Ding's level 16.
So Jack grinding the top floor, looks like, instead of maybe gonna get the level here, pop back out if he needs to.
Sylverfyre
just Jack things. Sparkover points out.
Yeah, it happens. Sylverfyre diving without a torch this time.
Very interesting race, especially with what we know about how difficult it is going to be to complete a dive.
The thing about dive, though, we dive at the very end. You also fight a boss, and you fight 2 bosses at the end. So it's a little bit of a gauntlet. You don't just walk down there and fight one enemy. It's a real gauntlet, a little grind to get past it all. And any bad luck, any surprise jokes you can get, make good.
Oh man, so Syl makes it down to the second basement here.
Centroid actually a bit ahead in the walk. No, actually behind 1 floor in the walk.
It's very tight.
And the Golem was a nightmare. So the Golem is really angry. So Golem is being put to sleep. The time loss is not worth being killed for.
Right, right.
But Centroid fighting the Golem, which is interesting play, given the Golem is, going to put you to sleep, then start lighting you on fire.
I think that just goes to show how borderline the stats are. Nobody seems to have made. Oh, and gets punished for it.
Yeah, Golem is not to be toyed with. Golem is not. Don't fight Golem this seed. Golem is not having any of it.
Just put him to sleep and run. But yeah, no, I mean, these stats are just so borderline. It goes to show nobody's making a real strong decision.
Sylverfyre making their way to the very bottom of Sherlock. Meanwhile, Jack's out of the castle. Heading back to probably heal at the local town. Tyerenex is beating up on some knights still. red dragons all the way through. So Trolloc is red dragons top to bottom. So if you have a problem with those guys, it's gonna be an issue. Oh yes, the Golem Postman. I want to go back to Tangel. How much will it cost? How much do you have?
And with a swing of the fist or a breath of the fire, just launch you right back.
One of those secret mana cannon travel things. Bring back cannon travel.
Centroid's just going to grind it up here about halfway to level 17.
Who's the boss? Who's the boss? We'll find out. Oh, it's next night. Nobody cares.
Very anticlimactic.
To be fair, you do it right though. To guard your most valuable possessions, you put things, you know, in your best guardians. You put your armor knight on top of the token, put the golem and the snowman in front of the princess, and if you somehow get to the last to throw him, I guess you can stay here.
So here we go. Hold B to be a fool.
We have been befooled. Let's see how this goes. So if I'm not fishing for a lucky stop kill, just going for the kill. Ambush!
Didn't take him. It didn't take Syl all the way down. 101 was good. So ambush, no risk there.
Yes, lots of HP to spare. So you might get a 127 on the heal. Your chance of a double strike is pretty high. Jack sees Golem, puts his leave and runs away, knowing the trouble that can cause. Tyerenex still grind away. Very close to 17. Centroid hit 17, ponders options. Heads on out.
That looks very doable on Centroid's side. So if anything, if Syl falters at all here, I don't think it will happen, but anything's possible.
Yes, the danger here is the hurt more by accident is the real risk. Well, Pilot, I imagine it's like fighting a Scarmillion. It's like, kill that guy, the idiot. You walk past and suddenly there's a dragon behind you. I mean, if you've ever been in Ungor Crater, if dinosaurs get behind me, that'd be knowing. The dragon's fair game. Tyerenex ground 17. So on the top, I imagine the same deal. If Jackimus's dive fails, I think Tyerenex is right behind him.
The final heal more from Syl.
Get some little rolls here. It's very dangerous, but you have 2 attacks coming now. Oh boy.
An 8. Oh my goodness.
Sweet mercy by the low punch.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow! I didn't really count on it being that close. I wasn't really paying any attention to the count there. That is nuts.
I was watching just crap rolls over and over again. Real low damage over and over again.
Holy moly.
So you can go Centroid now.
Yeah, with the additional hit points that Centroid has here, none of the heal more that he casts is going to be wasted, but there's quite a defense difference between Syl and Centroid, between the shield and the build. Hard to say if it's any really better off.
It's weird to say. The extra HP does help, if Centroid does dig in with the dead necklace, it'll be closer. It's hard to say. And also, if Centroid has different encounter luck going down.
Yeah, I'd be interested. My stream was kind of acting up there. I haven't had great internet tonight, but interested to see how many double attacks Syl got out of 137 HP, because you would have thought, even with only 10 heal mores, that it would have been a very doable fight.
That chat saying I agree that Centroid's agility is still fairly low, and defense is much lower. So engaging any kind of combat way down is dangerous and risky. And without full supply of MP, that fight's not going to happen.
Meanwhile, Jack has emerged on the bottom floor here, still at level 16.
Alright.
That's going to be...
So Syl and Tyerenex also wander into the castle at the same time. Jackimus is going to raid for the fighter's ring.
Hold on to your butts here. Now, Jack, I'm not sure if he's maybe looking for an herb.
I still got 1 or 2 doubles. It was definitely real bad rolls though. Welcome to the castle. We got the fighter's ring. Don't do it.
Yeah, okay.
Now we ponder. Do we actually... Let's see.
Ooh, Syl had to eject after a bad fight. Reset everything.
Yeah, those stats are dangerous. It's if one golem or one dragon wants to hold you up, you're gonna have to walk back out.
It's always nice to have a heal more or two in your back pocket.
Syl's in a rush, you can tell. Just punch that door open with a key. With the coal and burn the key to get the shot faster.
Centroid is no longer messing around with any golems.
A wise choice. Meanwhile, Jackimus wanders towards the top and we'll see the boss. And we'll have a swell of confidence. You'll see if it's false or not.
See, after all of that, I mean, Syl did not make any bad plays, really, at any point here. And a little ambush by DL2 and some low rolls, and that lead evaporated in seconds.
Jackimus has a curiously low MP total for this combat, so I'm not sure what the play for Jackimus is right now.
Well, if I was going to be fighting DL2 with those numbers, I would say hurt Morse.
Yep. All yours, kid. Oh no. Jackimus is going all in. Jackimus, Death Necklace, Hurt More strats, no healing spells available.
Or just whatever, just throw it all at it. So that'll be what is that, 21, so 10 to 21 is, 15 and a half.
Over the Mad Jack.
I mean, I suppose it's possible. Yeah, the stomp spell. And 2-shot? Did I miss anything there?
Now we'll see what happens.
Holy moly. 12.
Alright. Meanwhile, right behind the Centroid, on the top floor is Sylverfyre. About 3 floors down is Tyerenex. Jack's approaching the time frame where once he has a certain amount of HP done damage to the Dragon Lord, you probably just have to throw fireballs.
He's getting some good rolls. Knocked out a 20 there.
It's heavy damage going on. It's impressive, but I don't know.
He had 8 heal wars at the start, and in theory, he only needs roughly 10 attacks. So if everything went so smoothly with DL1, and he didn't get back attacks, so I think this is a definite possibility at this point. Far from being assured, though. Centroid going Death Necklace as well.
Yep. All the racers are feeling that pressure. Oh no, Jack's going straight legit stats. 2 more swings.
What a fantastic race this is.
Jackimus, you monster.
21 to cap it off.
Rolls a god and pauses with Dragon Lord.
The Mad Hatter move pays off and gets him another win in one of these quads. Fantastic job out of Jack.
The lucky style spell and the god rolls at the very end. Do the deed.
Now, I'm not sure if anyone in chat has been counting for Centroid, but I have no idea where he's at in his counts.
What a hero. And poor Tyerenex, who is trying to be controlled by a red dragon, is just outside the throne room. Just burned to heal more and sees the dot done probably. Truly unfortunate. Meanwhile, Centroid is grinding away at DL2.
Yeah, Tyerenex made a very tight race of this. Last week, Tyerenex upset the number 2 overall player and played Jackimus down to the wire. So Jackimus, no slouch. Top 10 for sure, probably closer to top 5. So great race out of Tyerenex.
Yeah, Jackimus knows the game's stats inside and out. Jackimus knew that those rolls were... Things had to go right for Jackimus to win that fight. So I'm sure Jack went in there with a 40-60 in his mind about winning or not. But made the right play that you were that far behind. You found sword later, you found gear later. You had to win right then, right there. Centroid. Ooh, it's getting good rolls, so Centroid is definitely on pace to probably win this fight as well. There it is. Sylverfyre, unfortunately cursed by low rolls and Dragon Lord 2.
Yeah, the low rolls. I mean, let's see, I'm not sure, did Tyerenex throw the Death Necklace on there? I didn't see it.
Yes, Tyerenex had Death Necklace on.
That appears to have been the difference here. Death Necklace strats over not doing the Death Necklace. And we see Centroid is the second winner of the night, taking home the bottom race. And that all 4 racers just played this seed fantastically. It was not easy at all.
Yeah, the seed definitely dragged around for the first half hour or so. Definitely beat you up and left you for a sad state. We have a guest.
It is Mr. Jackimus joining us. GG, sir.
GG.
Any hesitation at the end there? Or did you feel like you had it wrapped up?
The fight wasn't guaranteed, but there was just zero hesitation once I checked my status screen. I figure, maybe it would have been smart not to fight one of those red dragons on the way down and save a heal more, then it would have been pretty free, but I figure, I'll take the coin flip, let's go with it.
Well, it's the right play to make, because Tyerenex was literally one throne room behind you. So, you basically had to play at that point.
Say what?
Tyerenex is right behind you, basically. So, you were basically going to win that fight then and now. And if Tyerenex wins the fight now, you'd have been... A minute later, you probably would have been behind Tyerenex.
Yeah, okay. So that's cool.
Yeah, the decision definitely won you the seed here, and fantastic job.
Well, my start was pretty balls, but as the levels kept going up and I never saw it hurt more, I felt pretty confident for the most part.
The only huge change of attack power bonus we saw was Sylverfyre found the sword first. So lucky you walked through the swamp cave, no encounters, and had the sword in about 20 minutes in. But again, a lot of walking around, a lot of finding stuff, and there's some luck involved here. But everyone made the choices they made and panned out as you're seeing.
Yeah,
Well, this
so
was an interesting seed, honestly, because Hurtmore came so late and the hit points were so bad and everything just one-shot you that I don't think even if you got lucky enough to get through Swamp Cave and get the sword at the start, you necessarily had much of an advantage.
And they gained it pretty fast. Allowed early grinds to the warlocks and wolves south of the castle. Again, people were probably begging for the Hurtmore to fight above the weight class and get some big chunks of experience. But again, it didn't pan out. So the sword was definitely good to have, but you were all towards glass cannons for about the first 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, it played to how I decided to tackle the seed by focusing more on finding stuff rather than building levels early on. You know, if like it took like 5 experience to get Hurtmore, I probably would have been screwed on this one.
Alrighty, finishing off 5 minutes later is Tyerenex. Actually, 4 minutes later, my apologies. Tyerenex at 2:01:03, so right on your heels, as mentioned. So the choice made was...
Congratulations, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
So yes, the choice there was definitely the right choice to be made. You had to die, but you did, and everything fell into favor nicely.
yeah, Syl was down there first, but did not go with the Death Necklace strat the first time, so that made actually a big turn. Syl was ahead most of the race, but and he ran, and they ran strength agility just like you, so I'm not sure how much of a difference that made in the grand scheme of things, but it was interesting.
Not
to
much,
say the
really.
least.
No, there was one point, like halfway through the race, where my cat knocked over my beer and I was like trying to clean it while still playing. That was interesting.
I would have loved to see that.
Maybe I'll throw the webcam on next time I do one of these. But then again, I hope my cat does not knock over my beer because that's tragic and a waste and a mess.
Yeah, cats do that. Alrighty, let's see. Anything else going on here? You had your gear pretty spot on quickly. Centroid actually never found the silver shield, never grinded. All of you but Centroid grinded for gold pretty early on. So you all had that access when you found the mountain cave below the castle.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, you could have started out really lucky and just walked through Mountain Cave and got some chests and then had all the money in the world like 2 minutes in. I'm assuming that didn't happen for anyone, though.
Nope.
So anything else? I mean, we've covered a lot here, but anything else really stick out to you about this one?
Well, as per usual, I really don't like werewolves. I just don't like them, man. They're wolves. They were everywhere. It wasn't good.
Alrighty, there you have it. Werewolves keep the dream alive. So 5 finishing at 2:03. So our race was finished in a span of 6 minutes.
So all these other kids are done now?
The gang's all done.
Alright, good job, everyone. We
Very
have slain
tight
the Dragon Lord.
We have more guests.
Syl makes it into chat. GG.
Hello, GG.
Hey there,
Dragon
Sylverfyre.
Lord ambushes can go rot and die and heck.
Yes, yes. Fast dragons are not right. We all agree.
Yeah, I have to admit that I did not pay very close attention to how those rolls were panning out for you, and
They
was
were
very
like
shocked.
my damage rolls were fine. The issue was I wasn't getting double turns, which is really what I was relying on there with 132 attack power but 130 HP. So, like, I wasn't getting as many double turns. I ended up doing 141 damage, and the fight started with a Dragon Lord ambush.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of luck. Either way there. You had the odds there, and everyone was pretty much, oh, we got this, it's good to go. And then the rolls just didn't pan out, unfortunately.
Yep.
Testing.
Oh, Tyerenex, GG.
Thank you.
All right, GG
Hello,
everyone.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. Congratulations on finishing a somewhat difficult seed.
Thank you. Congratulations on winning a somewhat difficult seed.
I don't know, man. I just I played the game, and I ended up winning. That was kind of cool.
Sweet.
Right here next. So you actually, amongst the racers, you finished second over, or a little third overall, more or less. But you actually had the last find of the armor, last find of the sword. But you came back and you were basically all races finished within 6 minutes of each other. So you basically fought back, made a good fight of it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty brutal early game, and then when I saw that the sword was like connected to the swamp cave, I was like, oh gosh, anybody could have got that really early. Those werewolves were just everywhere, just wrecking me.
Yeah, there's a collection of enemies in the overworld and caves and everywhere, basically, that were making life miserable for everybody. The only one I thought was actually kind of like a vanilla good thing for you was the Armored Knights had the hurt, which kind of became a free round of combat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty fun seed. I like difficult seeds like that. I went at 17, and I think I got lucky.
Everyone else finished at 17. Sylverfyre finished 18, but used the Death Necklace. Didn't use Death Necklace, so you all threw it on there and started punching pretty hard. And Sylverfyre went in, banking on more HP. So the extra attack power plus Jack found the Fighter's Ring, which definitely added the bonus there.
That was the only reason I went down there, was just to check the treasure and see if the Fighter's Ring was there. But I don't know, things just kind of escalated from there, so worked out.
We've got our other victor tonight. Centroid is in the room here for a quick minute left here on the interviews. GG. Maybe. No, maybe not.
Discord does that sometimes. Might be the.
He just popped in to hear our beautiful voices for a moment, and now he's gone.
Hello, but no, let's imagine that the push talk throws everyone for a loop the first time. Wouldn't be a shock.
Well, at the really, I guess we can start to wrap this up. Centroid did do a fantastic job as well, just finishing less than 2 minutes behind Jack here. So just a fantastic job all the way through and through. Great race, very entertaining.
Well, it must have been good if we all finished within 5 minutes of each other, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I question for the commentators, I definitely spent a long time trying to run to that town to buy a hand axe. That probably wasn't worth it.
You weren't alone though. Jack, I believe you restarted to try and do that yourself. And
Okay.
I did mention that Ty, you actually you had awful luck in caves. You would walk to places and you just get smacked down 5 steps into the cave over and over again. So enemies were not giving you any kind of leeway in terms of exploration and travel.
Yeah, oh well. And then I kind of thought that, I can gold grind pretty easily here in that cave that was connected to tangential. And I mean, I tried that maybe 8 times before I actually got it to work.
Yeah, it's really tricky to get enough chests there, especially with werewolves down there. You have some pretty tough enemies down there. Wyverns that catch sleeper down there, I think I recall. So you were basically, every time you get into a fight down there, you were hoping to get killed.
Yeah. Well, good game, guys. It was a fun one.
Alrighty.
We're gonna try to get Centroid in here. It looks like he's in. I'm not sure if it's gonna work.
Hello, Centroid. Can you hear the sounds of our nice baritones?
Yes. Can you guys hear me now?
There we are.
Oh, there.
Yeah, we can, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
GG, nice win.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a pretty long seed, but I mean, I felt like there was always something going on. There was a long grind for me, at least at the beginning, and I mean, it just felt like there was always something going on. So it wasn't super boring or anything. Did anybody was there any like better strategies for grinding at the beginning of the game?
Nope.
It was really interesting. So you actually survived the opponent that quickly found the sword. Syl was by far the first to get Erdrick's sword. But we did make note that you just committing to the grind, you kept pace really well, and eventually with that hurt spell, it really kind of evened things out overall.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do like to start with the grind if I can, and like that does kind of take away from exploration, which, you know, it's kind of a gamble sometimes, right? Because if, you know, the Erdrick's sword is like 2 screens away, then you're maybe hurting yourself a bit. But I mean, I guess it's just I don't know, a judgment call.
Yeah, I think you'll see. So one thing that did happen, Syl did have a failed dive. The Dragon Lord just outlasted Sylverfyre the first round through for them. So, but you kept pace and really closed up the gap very quickly to take advantage of that. So it was a great job overall.
Thanks. Yeah, I gotta say, I think I got super lucky, like running from red dragons too. Like, man, like on the overworld, I got a bunch of runs with agility of like 46, and even on that dive, I ran from like 8 red dragons on the way down, and I only burned a heal more voluntarily right before the mini boss. So it wasn't like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like my second dive could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it really had caught up, and it was a quick dive overall. So fantastic. I think now I'm having trouble remembering. Were you the one that got bounced by the golem in one of the dives?
Yes, yeah, I just got slept and wrecked.
Yeah, that was those. They were astoundingly annoying at the very end there, but. Yeah, great job making it back through, and not really much time to spare, you know. Syl was right back down.
So how about that encounter pack on the first couple floors of Sherlock there? It had all the worst enemies in the game.
Well, it was hyper aggressive. It was definitely not user friendly. I was wondering that myself because the golem didn't show up to the very bottom. But other than that, you had the dragons, you had the wolves, you had AKs. So definitely a good crowd out top there. Alrighty, and the fun part is, despite all that madness, there might be more to come. So let's see. Do we have any more time to any more questions you want to ask, or any more thoughts you had? Anybody in this race here?
Not from me.
I'm kind of disappointed that there were so many encounters on the overworld, because I knew I could successfully count the location of the armor on the overworld, but stuff kept attacking me. It was ruining everything. I didn't like it.
Yeah, we actually noticed you were he went to the corner there by the split in the continent and like marked a spot to like count from that spot. We went to the cave and found it again. So he was going for the no math FFT run, but that didn't work out. And Repel was great, except that it was only for everything was so strong in the overworld. If Repel didn't matter because all the enemies were basically dragons and knights, so Repel wasn't doing much for you.
Repel saved a solid 30 seconds or so towards the end of the run, but that's about it.
Alrighty, now I do believe, I'm not mistaken, do we have the next race in the works? Let me check.
Yeah, what is it? My buddy Weege against Ravenheart, I think?
That is right, yeah. And then at the conclusion of that match, we are going to have round 3 reveals again. So I'll pop back in and we'll get those spun.
Alrighty then. So, let's go. Is the race happening on whichever channel we're on right now?
Yep, I believe we're hanging right here at Randomizer Media, number 1.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get out of their way so they can go. Let's go, Runes!
There you have it. Centroid, great job. Excellent race. Thank you for coming out and have a good time.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna peace out as well then.
We'll let the behind the scenes people take their take their course, get everything set up. But again, thanks for the restream, High Spirits, and all the help, and follow all these runners. It's we still got a lot of tournament left, and a lot of great matchups for all of them.
You just got 3 more weeks of Swiss. We got plane race, and we have the actual brackets per se. A whole lot more dragons being killed. So if you have a thing against large fire-breathing enemies that may or not be dragons, feel free to stay tuned.